Welcome back. Love Boat Project, episode number 54. With me, as always, is my co host, Mike Robertson. Ahoy, Mike. How are you?
Good. Happy belated Father's Day, since Father's Day was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you listening upon release, um, interesting that we had an episode. Of course, they didn't know that this was going to be our Father's Day episode, but anyone is a parent on this episode. The only person who might be is Steubing, and that's sketchy at best. So,
It's funny, I thought about this episode in terms of Father's Day. And I started to think of the Steubing thing, and the thing that brought me right back out of it was the whole Julie had a crush on him in the cruise director school. I can't look at him in the same light. I can't look at him as this fatherly figure after what
well,
happened last week.
and it's interesting you say that because I think there's a version of that thought that kind of colors that whole scene with Joanna
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the crow's nest there. It's you're right. It's the thing. I didn't intend to start bashing on Steubing, but
I'm
it's the
always ready.
thing.
I'm always ready for some
I know you are.
Steubing bashing.
You
So
you always have a couple in your quiver.
coming
So
in hot. Yeah.
um the the thing about him being this sage, dishing out words of wisdom, I guess you could sell that to me if it was consistently utilized, but not like last week when he's
Like
hitting
betrayed it.
on what's her name, and yeah, it's just and it's the thing we've talked about from Jump Street with him is he's not nearly as old as they're portraying him, and so that really throws it off too.
Nor is tall, sir. Nor is tall.
I still can't
Lest
get past
lest
that.
we not forget it. The man is 5'8". No,
That
I'm
is
not.
that might be the biggest takeaway of season 3, no matter what happens. So
And that wraps up season 3. No, it is weird watching this again. I just felt like number one, and I won't harp on it. Well, I'll try not to harp on it. Is it seems like this is another episode coming off last week's episode where that whole crush thing sort of weirded me out.
yeah.
You have an episode like this where it's not really a Steubing related episode, but the points where he sort of interjects himself into the story clearly shows that the man has nothing to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody
What?
interrupts him from steering. It's
Two
never
tours. He gave 2 tours on this boat
on a 3-day cruise.
that we saw. Like, who knows how many tours?
It's just he's like, the ruler of his own little world there. It's
I
just
think he
weird.
falls into the trap that most of this quote unquote season, we've only seen 3 episodes, has, which is the most of the good stuff went up in the first episode, and we're kind of just dealing with the scraps here the last couple weeks. So
Well, I am curious to see as we get closer to Vicky being on the ship, do they shift his character in that way away from, is he less of a busybody because he now has some, I'm curious to see how they handle that. Does it change his
well,
character? Does it give him more integrity? Like, what's going to
yeah,
be different?
and I will say I'd be shocked if we get anything that is untoward between now and
Mm,
Vicky's arrival, because we're so close now,
yeah.
right? Like, it would be bad if, like, 2 weeks before she shows up, he's just like,
He falls off the wagon, just hits a bridge with
he's
the
just
boat.
he's roofing
He's
people in the
roofing
dining room.
people. Isaac's putting saran wrap on everyone's drinks. What's going
Oh
on?
god.
Steubing's lost his mind.
Yeah, because I
Um,
think, and we said this last year when the Vicky stuff happened, and then it was so
mhm,
inconsistent afterwards for a little bit. But I
absolutely.
think, I think they think this particular episode's version of Steubing, I think they think that's the character.
Oof. Well,
So I think you can do some levity in there and stuff too. But I think, like, moral fiber, sounding
right.
board for the stars of tomorrow.
Jeez. Oh boy. The ballet stars of tomorrow. Good
Uh,
Lord. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about The Love Boat Season 3, Episode number 4. titled "Going My Way," "Dance with Me," and "Doc Be Patient." Original air date September 29th, 1979, in that super cozy 9 to 10 p.m. time slot. Uh, the what else is on segment, which is my favorite segment. It used to be the mailbag, but I've moved on
Wow.
to what else is on. This is an
Pressure's on you,
all-star.
mailbag
I
writers.
Gosh, reignite that mailbox flame. There are two strong candidates for a deeper dive, perhaps. The first one was on CBS at 9 p.m. It's the season premiere and series premiere
Ooh.
of a Big Seamus, Little Seamus. Uh, uh, Big Seamus, Little Seamus aired from September 29th, 1979, and ended its run on October 6th, 1979, after two
Oh.
awful episodes, apparently. This series focused on a house detective at the Ansonia Hotel in Atlantic City and his 13-year-old son who solved crimes. They love a duo.
Wow.
I mean, that's essentially, isn't this BJ and the Bear in an Atlantic City casino? I mean,
Well, like, and that's like ripped from the headlines, like late 70s, early 80s Atlantic City. That's like, that's the mafia, that's all that
yeah,
stuff. So like, but to throw a kid in there kind of takes all the starch out of a hard hitting, gritty crime.
yeah, I don't
Plus, so he's a house detective for the hotel.
He is, yeah, the house detective at the Ansonia Hotel in Atlantic City.
So I wonder if the Ansania Hotel has a casino. So you double your
Yeah,
crime fighting
there
business
you
there, I
go.
guess.
It's interesting though, because for a character like this, let me just get to it's Brian Dennehy plays Big Seamus, which just I'm like, okay, okay, I could get into that maybe. And
So
then Doug McKeon as Little Seamus. I don't know who Doug McKeon is. It's just that's a big name for a
is he
super
of the
crappy
McKeons?
show. Not of the Nancy
Oh,
or Philip
Philip.
McKeons. No.
That's probably what hurt him. So
What you be saying? If Philip was on this show, it would have been a hit.
I'm just saying, if Brian Dennehy as a Atlantic City detective doesn't work, that's not Brian Dennehy's fault.
No, no, no.
I would be curious. I know where you're getting. I feel like we might have to find this show because I'm more curious to see if it's actually bad or I mean, this is I guess we can start talking about this as we go through these. And if this thing is canceled in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a new show here in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Um, I guess we can start talking about like, is the Love Boat like the opponent you can't defeat, and they're just throwing these awful shows at it.
Well,
So
I mean, before, it was a lot of TV movies or movies, or an extended special, like a Chips extended series, which sort of brings me to the other show at 9.
okay,
BJ and the Bear is back. And to your
all right,
point, that's where it was last season too, right at
yes,
9
yeah,
o'clock.
yep.
Uh, Season premiere, BJ and the Bear. And I thought about this earlier, Mike. We've talked about BJ and the Bear, and they never throw in like monkey puns in the description.
They very
Like
rarely mention the
they
monkey.
don't even mention the monkey. I was thinking
Yeah,
about this yesterday. I'm like BJ and the Bear. The Bear could be the nickname for Doug McKeon for all we know. It's just odd to me. It's like BJ and or monkeying around when they get a cup. They go
yeah.
bananas for nothing.
The only thing I can think is they're saving all that for the TV Guide print ads with the photo, or that was NBC, right?
Yeah.
So it's gotta be after Punky, BJ and the Bear are going bananas for
I wonder
liquor
if the
song.
monkey. I wonder if that monkey like appeared on other shows. Hey, are you the bear? No. Oh, oh. I wonder.
Well, I mean, he
It
can't.
wasn't
Oh,
on our show.
maybe he'll be on this. Yeah,
I mean,
I
I just
mean,
thought it was funny because nowhere in here, if you didn't know this show, and chances are, some of our listeners out there are not of an age where they are familiar with BJ and the Bear. if you don't say that bear's a monkey, no one's gonna know. They might think it's a bear.
But
What are they
the
doing?
funny
Why are
thing
they
is, I
calling the
would
bear
say,
monkey the bear? Like why
well,
that's so dumb. Like they're trying to throw people off. Does he have a bear in the truck or is it
well,
the oh, no, the monkey's name is Bear.
and here's the
Come
thing
on.
too, is if you do know it, chances are
Yeah.
the only reason you do know it is because there's a monkey in the truck.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It goes back to that. Oh, okay, I see now. It's visual. It takes 2 seconds. It's
Yeah.
I just always thought anyway. Season premiere episode 1 of a two-parter
Ooh.
titled Snow White and the Seven Lady Truckers.
I hope it's Flatbed Annie and what was the other one
I,
with Annie
oh,
Potts? Remember?
Annie Pot. It's just BJ lends his help in organizing 7 female truckers to combat a gang of ruthless competitors. Speaking of ruthless competitors, special guest star Andre the Giant. I'm assuming he's a ruthless competitor and not a one of the he's not. There aren't 6 other giant female truckers.
He wouldn't. He
His
wouldn't be
name
a villain. A
a
face
villain.
wrestler wouldn't be a villain. Well, he was a villain
What is
in Incredible
this?
Hulk, though, right? So maybe.
Was 79 too. This is before.
Oh, this is way before his heel turn. But
Yeah, he
yeah,
was just like the attraction thing. That is, you know what it is? I bet you he played a bad guy that at the end, like his heart of
yeah,
gold
helps
shined
him.
through. Like
He
it's
just
one of
yeah,
those. He helped him.
he lifts up an overpass so the trucks can
That's
get
a.
through.
I
Oh, you know
can
what he
I can
probably
only
does?
save you. Yeah.
He probably helps storm the castle. That's probably what he does.
Oh, absolutely. And he went and then part of it crumbled, and he
Yeah,
saved them by holding it up, and he went. He went down with the
right.
castle.
I'm the Vampire Woman.
You know what it is? It's ogre. It's like the story of ogre, as if it's told in another way.
Can we just twist this into watching Princess Bride for a bonus
Yeah,
episode?
we're gonna pause this real quick.
or or WrestleMania 3?
Either way, either way, I'm all about that. Yeah,
I would be thrilled to watch either or both of those. The going back to Big Sheamus, Little Sheamus. So American Girls, 5 episodes, we think,
yes,
5 or 6
yes,
before it got
5.
canceled.
Yeah.
Two is wild.
How does something like that get made if it only lasts? Because this isn't the pilot, so there had to be something that sold them.
Well, here
And then
this
how
made
does
me
that go
think.
bad? Yeah,
This made me think, and I'm not saying this is the case.
sure.
This is the only show I know of that had 1 episode and then was canceled. So this is a very specific memory. The Phillies were in the 1993 World Series, which was the last season that CBS had the playoffs. And so if you were watching the Phillies playoff run, you got 12 games worth of CBS commercials during the games. And they incessantly ran an ad for their new show called South of Sunset, which starred Glenn Fry as a detective. So
Oh, wow. That's way. Oh, okay, well, that's Miami Vice. That's
it's
Smuggler's
like,
Blues.
yeah,
Like
what
it's
is
like one
that?
of those kind of things.
Or what was the Smuggler's Run or something like
Yeah,
that?
it's one of those sort of.
So
Wow.
I double checked just to make sure I was right. It only aired once. Its last episode was right after the World Series ended. It got the lowest rating for a fall network television debut ever at the time.
Well, think about if you were, putting the World Series on, and then it was, national. That was, it was a lot. There wasn't a lot else on. You have a show like that you're promoting and promoting and promoting. And we talked about this before, where there were like CBS families, ABC family. You know what I mean? Different sort of. Before the remote controls, you just kind of kept on the same thing. It's
Right.
amazing to. The show must have been really bad if you do
Well,
all that promotion
well,
and
here's a fun thing.
nothing. What's that?
As we go on tonight, I will
Mm.
tie in this fun fact with a later fun fact. So
Oh, I
stay
like it.
tuned for that.
I love multiple fun facts,
They build upon each other.
and I love things to look forward to.
Oh yeah,
That's nice.
it's a breadcrumb.
I do want to mention, uh, there is a missing in action force, Fantasy Island this year.
That's weird.
10 o'clock is Heart to Heart. Fantastic show. I looked at the week prior and the week after, no Fantasy Island. So it's a little odd. I wonder if they're going to move it to another. like if they already have a hold on Saturday night, where else do
So
you put it?
you could convince me either way that it's a
Mm,
bit of a juggernaut, the spelling back to back,
yeah.
or is it very similar? And to have them back to back maybe isn't as smart as having them like Tuesday and tonight or something like that.
But I wonder if you're forcing people to choose. Like if you watch one, like do you really want to watch the other? And I say that to your point because they are so similar. It's the same idea essentially.
Yeah.
I wonder if that or we maybe it's a mid-season premiere. I don't know if they really did those that. Maybe
When
it was
did
on all
when?
summer and they have a new
Yeah.
one. I don't know.
Interesting, because I don't think of Heart to Heart as a companion piece to Love Boat.
No.
So
Simon and Simon, something like
right.
that, sure.
Yeah.
Which I believe was CBS, so that might be.
Hardcastle on McCormick.
Oh, now you're talking with the coyote with that car. Oh, it was badass.
Well, I hope they come back
Hmm,
because it's fun. It's fun to look them up just for the crazy guest stars that they have. So, because
absolutely.
wasn't so far the only time we've seen somebody double up was the Moon Expert was on both episodes or something.
No, the moon expert, John Aston, and it was
Oh,
the
okay.
week after he was the crazy person on the island. He was on there as
Yes.
like the complete opposite.
Yes.
So no, I think that's the only one so far. Um, any other housekeeping before we hop on the boat here? Oh, actually,
So,
what am I doing? I
yeah, go
haven't
ahead.
even read the synopsis,
Oh
Mike.
my God,
Hold
people,
on.
we are so lost in the sauce here.
Because I'm
You don't
so
even know what this thing's
irritated with
about.
Steubing. The Steubing thing has got me so. All right, episode synopsis. It's only the 54th, 55th time we've done this. You'd
we
figure I
we were
would.
too busy talking about Brian Dennehy
Oh, yeah, that's
and
true.
Glenn Fry.
Well, you know. Episode synopsis. I didn't even go through the guest stars. What am I doing?
Oh,
Oh. Free Spirit Susie invites cab driver Mickey Shakespeare Greenbaum, if you're playing at home, to go with her on a cruise. Former dancer Marcy meddles in the affairs of her ex partner Will, which upsets his current partner Joanna. That's a very literal
yeah.
explanation. And ailing Adam is a tough patient for Dr. Emily Bradford. All right. Guest stars Star Denius as Joanna Robbins. She was actually an accomplished ballet dancer, one and only appearance on the Love Boat.
Yeah.
Uh, Arlene Galunka as Susie Butterfield.
Galunka.
Galunka. Lots of TV appearances, 60s and 70s. The word Galunka in Polish means pig's foot.
Sure.
We will see Arlene Pigsfoot again in season number 5.
Galunka, I think, is the sound in Kerplunk on commercials.
I can see the commercial in my head with those sticks. Oh, that was terrible. That game too. But Buddy Hackett as Mickey Shakespeare Greenbaum. Let me ask you: do you think he was miscast in this role based on the age and the looks of Susie Arlene
so
Galunka?
so you do a lot of heavy lifting with her free spirit character. But I will say this was a early King of Queens type scenario.
Yeah,
I Buddy Hackett was really good, surprisingly, but yeah,
he's a pro, man. Yeah,
it felt a little of a stretch. Not a
I
lot,
agree.
but a little. That was, you know,
And it,
I've seen weirder matches,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, he's so likable too.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it works in his favor. Known
The
mainly as a nightclub. What's up? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they never, and you really can't do this, but they never really were like they didn't have Susie Buttermaker, whatever, kind of ever say it's not about looks, Shakespeare. Like she never said that, right? So
I kind of wish she would have.
yeah,
You know what though? But then you're admitting that so it kind of
right.
bursts the bubble. So better that way.
And we're also assuming that this wasn't written specifically for Buddy Hackett, which I'm sure it wasn't.
That's a
So
good point. It's insert actor here. It could have been
right,
anybody.
yeah.
Known mainly as a nightclub comic, was one of the biggest headliners in the history of Las Vegas.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Who would you have cast in the Buddy Hackett role to maybe line it up a little more realistically? Somebody we've seen so far, because it can't be a Uric type. It can't be too much. It's almost got to be like in between.
If Bob Denver hadn't appeared already as a 50-year-old high school reunion person,
what about speaking of Bob Denver, what about
Sonny Paul Williams.
no, not Paul Williams.
Don't
It
get
was
me.
the
I love
guy
Paul Williams.
Russ Randall, the other guy. He's better than Bob
Oh,
Denver was.
or bring back
How about Mike
in the
Kelly?
wheelchair. He's the coolest guy in the world. Yeah, any of
Yeah.
those people. I felt like Buddy.
I got a nugget on Mike Kelly too. I got so many nuggets on this episode.
There's
My
so
God.
many. Yeah.
Stay tuned.
We will see Mr. Hackett again in season 5. Carol Lawrence is Marcy McGuire. Boo.
We won't see him at the cab stand.
No, you won't see him for that company. That company's probably looking for him. Like, do you know how much somebody stole the
He owes them a car.
Carol Lawrence played Marcy. I'm hitting the boo button repeatedly. If you're wondering what I'm doing, she is the former wife of Robert Goulet, famous for her role as Maria in West Side Story, and we will see her again in season 5. Lots of season 5ers.
Was driving me crazy because I was like, that's a pretty big deal. West Side Story. Why is that name not familiar? She was on the Broadway run, but they bumped her from the movie for previously mentioned character Natalie Wood. So
really,
yeah, so she got the chef, which is the way things worked a lot, I think, back then. Natalie Wood just had more cachet, but oddly enough, Natalie Wood was dubbed in the singing portions by a third person. So,
well, I guess you can't go back to
Carol Lawrence. No,
and go, hey, Carol, we love your singing voice. We love it. We love it. We love it. How about that's the hard.
How about you help us out? Yeah.
In fact, I think that's what Adam West wanted. He was so mad that he wasn't in contention for the first Batman movie. I remember reading that what he really wanted was like a younger, athletic person to play Batman, but he would be the voice of Batman, not Bruce Wayne, but just the Batman. Just like, bro.
No,
and again, I heard completely wrong.
I heard that they asked Adam West to be Maria in West Side Story, so
he would have taken it too. He would have taken it. It would have been amazing. And the Oscar goes to Adam West
as Maria. Adam West Side Story.
Adam West Side Story. Write that down.
Wow, done and dusted.
Oh, that's funny. Next, we have John Meehan as William Delaney, 321 Australian. Although his accent is, you can't really tell what it is. It's he's Australian, but he's trying to put on like maybe a French. I don't even know what it is.
Little robot in there.
A lot of robot in there. This is his only Love Boat appearance. Thank God.
Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble when these guys are clearly ballerina guys. Like, it's not good.
So. No, like, don't give this guy a soliloquy. Oh, looking over the boat. Just push him. Just don't. I got no time for it. Susan Sullivan is Dr. Emily Bradford. 157 episodes of Falcon Crest. Good Lord. She's been on a ton of TV shows from 1964 to 2018. Oddly, this is her only Love Boat appearance for somebody that was on TV all the time. Maybe
which is disappointing because this is our first of what I assume will be many It's a Living stars.
Oh, very nice.
Absolute classic. I loved It's a Living. One of the heavy rerun shows.
Underrated.
Yeah. And a lot of Cheryl Lee Ralph, who is a big star on Abbott Elementary now, was towards the end of It's a Living. So that show put out some stars for years. So
how is that show? Have you seen that show?
Abbott? Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. And honestly, except for they don't call Quizzo because that's not a term anywhere except in Philadelphia.
Oh,
It's very true to
Did
Philadelphia
Johnny
stuff.
Q trademark that? Is that what it is? They couldn't
It's
appear. Is
very
he in
true
the
to
show?
Philadelphia stuff, which I'm a
Okay.
snob about. So
Well, of course.
it's very good. So
I will. I will check that out.
yeah.
Any other housekeeping? Now that I've remembered to do the guests and everything else. Anything else to go over before
So
we get
since
going?
I've been breadcrumbing this like crazy, I'm gonna
Yeah.
save my other note for later. But I knew we were in
Fantastic.
trouble,
Yeah.
and this is
Oh,
something that you have pointed out many times.
I
I
know where
knew
you're
we
going.
were in trouble this week when I saw there were 3 different directors.
Yeah.
That does seem to be a hallmark of not a great episode.
I wonder, do you think they cut it up by time? Like the director goes, you have this, then the second you have this, you have this. If it's 44 minutes, do they get equal parts, I wonder?
Well, I think that's the script, though, right?
But yeah, but this one guy had how many dance sequences? I'm just
I
wondering, like, does
think,
that count towards?
yeah, but there really wasn't that much in there.
No, that's what I'm saying. There was as much dancing as there was story, basically.
I think that the 3 director thing is for when not everyone is available at one time, or the
Oh,
script is not interlocking and they can
so you
kind of
can have
shoot
some,
these. Because I
yeah.
was very conscious of trying to see who actually was involved in the different things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, the ballerina thing is mainly just Stubing. They have like a cutaway shot of the rest of the crew, but never actually interacting with the other guests. So
You know what?
my
I didn't
guess is that
even.
one was done like at a much different,
I didn't
because of
think.
all the massive choreography that was needed for that.
Well,
So
I kind of think this episode didn't. I wonder when this episode was recorded. I didn't pay attention to Julie's hair, and I should have.
Julie's hair is in the where we're at now for season
Okay.
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just because you remember before they had them all weird and out of order, and they would
Yes.
kind of jam them
Yeah.
in,
Now
and that was our barometer.
I think this jives, and I think there's a couple other things, including like crew casual wear that kind
Yeah.
of stick with season 3. So I think that part's good, but I think it's just one of those things where early in the season, I mean, these ballerina people, if they're real ballerina people, they maybe had to jigger the schedule a little
What
bit
are
to
they
make the
promoting?
yeah. So
Jeez. Uh, well, here we go, Mike. All right, it's time to get on the boat. We begin with Mickey Shakespeare Greenbaum, cab driver. He's dropping off Susie Butterfield at the ship. Tells Susie he's writing a book about all of his weird passengers. Susie said she was stood up for the cruise. Tells Susie the guy who stood her up for this cruise is nuts or a meshuggah. All right. She starts to leave, but she invites Shakespeare on board with her. He calls her a quote unquote banana, but he agrees to join her. I guess she wasn't too. Guess she's not much of a
so
banana, is she?
he calls her a banana, but yet
Yeah,
BJ and the Bear descriptions can't include
they
banana
won't
at
use
all.
it. Contractually we can't say. We just said banana more
Right.
now than they've
Yeah.
said. Yeah,
We have an episode with
yeah,
banana in the title,
with
but
tons.
they
Yeah,
don't.
they
So
don't even have one. No, no monkeying around. No nothing. Ugh. Uh, don't be such a chimp. You could Chimpleton. You could do something like. Uh, he calls the taxi dispatch, tells him the cab won't steer, and says "Bon voyage," with the windows down. I might add, Mike.
yeah.
He didn't
Like,
even
did he
roll
leave
up the
the keys
windows.
in
I think
there?
he left it running. Like
Well, yeah,
what? What?
just torch it, right? That would have been great if the episode ended and they came back and it was just a pile of fire.
Or
Like,
lay off like the e-brake and it just goes off the end of the dock. That's great. Stubing. Nothing to do again, because why would you have something to do? Because they're about to leave on a ship.
yeah.
Stubing recognized a woman named Marcy McGuire. Uh, Stubing's nephew is studying ballet in New York. Here's lie number one. Stubing says his nephew is taking him to see her many times. The timeline doesn't add up at all. Many times. There's no way it could be many times. It was
All right.
once.
So, first of all, giving them points for continuity.
Oh yeah,
We've
same,
been
same.
talking about streaks a lot, and a couple of our streaks didn't make it this week. But the continuity
Good.
streak, I'd like to now introduce, which is up to 3 weeks in a row.
I like
So
that.
points there.
Mm-hmm.
But It's at most, I would think, if you figure the Courtney Steuben storyline was in the middle to end of season 1.
Yeah.
This is the beginning of season 3, so year and a half. Let's even say 2 years in show life. She's probably only, unless Steuben's going to see the same performance like 6 times, which I guess is
Like a
possible.
stalker, sure.
Right, like a creep, or he just like he saw the matinee and then fell asleep
Or they
and
gave
then
away
woke
they
up.
gave away a free dozen donuts every time you saw it. He was there every I've been there every showing for 2
Yeah,
months.
it's not her. It's just somebody with like
No.
a deli cardboard sign
He's
outside of
just
like some Times Square in the 70s. Like,
and I will say this because he has said this to her. Let's keep an eye on what he's drinking this episode. Just food for
oh,
thought.
interesting.
I watch
I
this man like a hawk.
I will say I have slacked on the drink watch. I need to get back on that. But
Uh, didn't
uh,
happen very often in this
l-
episode, I will say.
here's another streak.
Hmm.
No captain's dinner. We're 0
Yeah,
for the captain's dinner so
can,
far this season.
yeah, that kind of bums me out because I like the structure of the show. People come on board. It's we get you to the room. There's some dinner. It's Mexican fiesta night or whatever the hell it is. To me, that was like the anchor in the mid part of the show. You
Yeah,
had all the introduction of the stories. The captain's table is a must. It's so many. It's such an opportunity to advance multiple storylines in one
it's
scene.
easy. There are 2 things that should be in every episode, which is some version of the captain's table and one scene with Isaac and a customer.
Yes, yes.
These are easy and they should be in every episode. But I think there's no way we were getting a captain's episode in a 3 director episode for sure. But yeah, it would have
It's
been
just
interesting to have
lame.
Buddy Hackett mixing it up with those ballet folks.
Well,
I'd watch
in
that.
uniform, and he was going to be in uniform too. What a great thumbnail that would have been.
I never saw Swan Lake.
Are there real birds in it? Just some dumb, just nothing. Uh, also, I don't Steubing doesn't strike me as the guy that's being supportive to Courtney, supportive like, hey, good luck, but I just don't see him as flying all the way to the
Twice.
East
Yeah.
Coast multiple times to
That's a
support his
good
ballet. That's all.
that's almost a better point. And
It's a lot of
isn't he
effort, man.
well, I guess he's not going to Annapolis, right? Because he's studying ballet in New York. So yeah. That's now I guess Steubing is from New York. We haven't established that, but
What? Hold on. How is Courtney? How did they let him in a school? Let's stop pretending here. Remember, it was comic relief what he was doing because
he's got a
he's
lot of
7 feet tall. He's in
so you
school for
don't think
ballet.
the you don't think the Bolshoi takes a lot of letters from the desk of Meryl Steubing?
He's going to be in that school for the next 35 years. It's never going to get better for that guy.
He
So,
said he was in a school. He didn't say what
oh,
school. So.
that's true. He's learning HVAC, but he does
Oh my
ballet on the
god.
side.
We're almost there. What if we forgot that Courtney Steubing is a character in Fame? Remember.
He's he's featured heavily in the Irene Cara video as well. Oh,
Remember my name? Crash.
just just flopping around like a giraffe.
Oh my god.
Williams. Speaking of giraffes, William Delaney is Marcy's former ballet partner, and he's also on this cruise with his new partner Joanne.
So she knew he was on the cruise. He didn't even know she was back from Germany. So that's some stalker shit.
Why not just? I'll save it. It's very stalker. It's very
Yeah.
stalker. The three agree to meet later, but Joanna looks suspicious as William gives his former partner a kiss on the lips. That's too much, man. That's too
You know what?
much.
Normally, I think sometimes you're a little persnickety with such things.
Yeah.
Kiss on the lips in front of the
That's
current partner, that ain't right.
no, 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 no.
The
That's
most the most you can do is a hug that the current partner maybe thinks went on too long. You
I even
cannot
think
smooch
a
on that.
kiss in the cheek's not appropriate in this situation.
I think you're allowed for that.
If she's French, Yes.
I think I've done the kiss on the cheek move. So, but not in front of a current boyfriend though. So that's I
Well,
agree.
not in front of like.
Yeah. Oh, if the boyfriend's not there, you go to.
Yeah, and it's fine, but like,
No, I agree.
you can't break eye contact with him as.
Well, especially because this guy has dead eyes when she
Oh,
walks
he's got
away.
eyes of a shark. Just nothing. That guy's horrible.
I think I
Uh,
figured out what's wrong with his heart.
yeah, I think we all know it. He's shark. He has to have a constant stream of salt water. That's why he went on this cruise.
That's why he can't dance anymore. He has to be constantly moving.
He's hosed down. He's got layers and layers of teeth. Land shark, ballet. Gopher and Doc
Shark
welcome.
Lake.
Yeah, right. Well, he is Australian. You know he's had some shark encounters.
Oh,
Be
God.
great. William Delaney, shark attack.
You think he's related to Dawn Delaney?
uh, that's funny. It's
This episode stinks already.
yeah. It's bad if we're talking to Don Delaney jokes at 36 minutes in. Oh boy. Gopher and Doc, yeah, they welcome Emily Bradford. She notices that Doc looks a little flushed. Dr. Bradford offers to check him out, but he's like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Little forward. I mean, it wasn't like
Forward.
he was hawking a lung up there.
Well, he wasn't beat red. He wasn't
Well,
covered in sweat. It's like, hey,
yeah,
beeswax,
yeah.
Bradford.
Hey, listen, I just did so much cocaine in the bathroom.
You don't even know. Have you delivered a baby on a boat? Probably not. Probably haven't, have you?
I'm still sweating from the twins. Still.
He's
That was 44 episodes ago.
like
I'm still
he's
sweating.
damaged liver function. His hips don't work anymore from all the twin thrusting. He's shot. Poor Doc. Doc does say, I'm under the constant supervision of one of the finest physicians I know. I even give myself a professional discount.
Boom.
Like, bug off, Bradford. We hear the blast of the boat's horn, and we are ready to leave. No ticker tape, but a lot of wide shots, which is surprising given the amount of dancing we're about to deal with here.
Yeah, this is by far
Stretch.
a Paddington Boat situation. This whole episode. Anytime you're going to get 2 dance numbers, it's a Paddington Boat situation.
2 ballet.
Sorry, 2 ballet dance numbers and a practice.
Yeah, it's so much dancing. Oh, it's like, don't dance the story. Just tell me the story. Yeah, I don't need you to dance it.
And again, it's like if these are real people, it's very
Sure.
possible this was like these were well known at the time ballet people. This
Could
might
be.
have been a thing, but
Like a
it's
Baryshnikov type of thing. Like, I can't believe this guy's on my entertainment
maybe
box on a Saturday night.
is he the Australian Baryshnikov?
I mean,
I don't know.
I
He
don't
might
know.
be.
Maybe.
He's not the Australian Marlon Brando. I'll tell you that.
Not.
So.
He's not. He's not. Although Baryshnikov, I might have to check again, does not have the dead eyes of a shark. So, and this guy was eating coral during breaks. He's just, I'm all right. I'm just chewing on some coral. Just
wasn't Baryshnikov in a movie like a double movie with Gene Hackman?
He was in a movie with Gregory Hines, that tap.
Well,
movie,
that's a dancing movie. But I think he was in an actual movie with Gene Hackman.
He was. I think he was supposed to protect him or something. There was some.
Yeah,
sort of,
I think he was a dancer, but I always remember there was a scene in an elevator. So great description.
Wow. Tell me, what was your favorite part?
It was my most
scene?
and least favorite part.
I like how it has nothing to do with the fact that Baryshnikov's in the movie. It's just.
I like the fact that we have mentioned so many people that have nothing to do with this show.
tells you about the quality of this episode we're discussing. Susie and Shakespeare walking by the cabins. Susie asks where her cabin is. If you're playing at home, it's Promenade Deck Cabin 348. Julie asks Shakespeare if he's Mr. Patterson, who was the guy that was supposed to share the room. Susie asks Shakespeare for his last name, which I said earlier is Greenbaum. Explains they just met on the way to the ship in a cab, and Julie tells Isaac, now I've seen everything. You live in a glass house, Julie. Don't you dare. Just back up, lady.
I'm really glad that the cruise director and the bartender were just randomly posted up in the hallway.
They do
Not
it.
even like a big hallway. Like that's not one of our primetime hallways. There was like one room there.
Well, it's not like they were walking and ran into the guests. They were
Right.
just standing there.
Standing
Like,
there.
what?
Standing
What are you
outside
guys?
someone else's room. Like someone had passed
Shady.
away in that cabin.
They didn't know how to handle it. Oh boy. Uh, we see a waiter walking around the pool deck, and he's walking on the pool deck to deliver the drinks. Made me very nervous. Thought that was just
No
crazy.
lessons have been learned from when Ray Bolger ordered that vodka and Isaac fell to his death.
Plus, I'm thinking too. I'm looking at all these drinks, and Mike, as someone who enjoys a pool, I hope they're plastic because I
Oh,
got nervous seeing. I felt like there was a lot of glassware on the pool lid.
that is an excellent point, and I don't know if the hard plastic that is almost glass looking that exists today was a thing back then.
They had styrofoam
Yeah,
and paper.
that's an excellent question. Yeah, once you get glass around the pool deck, that's game over. So
I remember we got bartending. Somebody broke a glass over the ice, and that's worst case scenario because you got to
yeah,
drain the whole thing, you got to clean the
yep.
whole thing. But I know, I know I don't go. I mean, what am I going to drink out of a glass bottle? Like milk?
I was at
What
a
am I going to do?
I was at a pool this weekend,
Yeah,
and I only had a bottle of beer, and I still dumped it into a plastic cup
because
because
you're a conscientious
I
pool
am
goer.
I am.
I
So
love the pool, but you got to respect the pool rules.
yeah, and
Running.
that's just a nightmare because you never really know if you got everything. So
Well, and you just hope that other people are as cognizant to that sort of like you need that to happen. And when I see a waiter
right,
walking across the
well,
slippery deck to put a glass down, I'm
right,
like,
and
Jesus, what are you
the
guys
thing is,
doing?
that's not the waiter's decision. That's the princess's line's decision.
Imagine the insurance they'd have to get. Be like, no, no, no. We encourage them to drink out of a glass in the pool. Like everything's glass.
Do you think
Ugh.
Steubing, signed off on that? There's some sort of weird, no one should drink anyway, or something like
He
that.
thought somebody wanted his autograph. He's so about himself. He's like, sure.
Oh, good point. Yeah, good point.
He
Yeah.
didn't give a crap. Joanna asked William if he was ever in, wow, we really got off on that one. Joanna asked William if he was ever in love with his old ballet partner. Mike, I don't know if you knew this, but William, shark-eyed William, reminds Joanna of the second law of ballet, which is never be jealous of old partners.
Believe it's second law.
So, boy.
I kept waiting for the third law to be diplomatic immunity.
Mr. Riggs. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And of course, rule number one of ballet is to mind your toes.
That's such a weird jump from the first rule to the second rule. Like the
Mind your
first rule,
toes to what's
very
all
helpful.
toes? It's all toes.
Mind your toes. Second of all, don't ask where you've been.
You can ask one question a day. That's rule 3. And you can't eat. You can eat only chewing gum. Something crazy. Cigarettes and chewing gum. Don't eat.
You know what rule 3 should be, or rule 1
Hmm.
even should be HIPAA, because we later find out that the medical records for poor Bill here are getting passed around in Germany pretty frequently.
Everybody, it's international. There's no HIPAA.
Yeah.
There's no
There's
consent
no
form.
internet, and this creepy stalker Molly Maguire already knows that he's got a bad
Nope.
ticker. So
Because his doctor, just like printed them all out and stuck them in bottles. He must have thrown 20 of them in the Atlantic.
they're in
Go
ketchup
where you're
bottles.
intended to go, medical news. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Gopher and Doc are walking the Lido deck when Doc needs a minute to sit down. Is he hungover? Is he? I don't know. He keeps denying he's coming down with something, but he almost passes out when he stands, and the music gets very dramatic.
We
when he
need
almost
to
passes out.
we all need to agree on the Love Boat here. We need to have
Yeah.
a legitimate I'm sick, I'm
Yes.
faint, whatever,
Yes.
because this is the same motion
It
that
could be anything.
that the older pregnant lady had at the end of season 2.
You're saying Adam is
Adam's with child. He's in a
Adam's
family way.
with child.
The it's unnecessarily dramatic. Like, I'm sorry. We've all been sick. We've all been very sick, but this is like
Sure. Well, it's like he can't even sort of like hide it. Like
right.
sometimes, like if you feel sick like that, you don't like have to go with it per
You,
se,
you know what you do? You do the move where you stand up too quick and it's like oof. You
or you
do one
just
of
lean
those.
a little bit or
He
something. But he's just
he he went down. He went in a down motion more than anyone did in the season 2 opener last year in the Hurricane.
gravity. Yeah, well, you know what it is. I think that the doctor got concerned because of the dramatic change in music. She's like, "Oh, good
Oh,
lord, I
yeah.
need to be more concerned."
You know what it was? He was going down on the floor to reach for his Bricker script. He thought we were getting another episode of Bricker.
All of a sudden, we hear bassoon in the background. Oh no. Uh, Gopher asks if Doctor has something serious. Can he have his stereo? Boom, boom. We're in Ensenada already. I don't know. Did they add an extra engine on this ship? This thing is. Here we go. Get on the
Well,
boat. Now we're in Ensenada.
we don't have a handy map, so maybe Ensenada
No,
is very close to.
maybe it's near the totem pole.
It's the other.
For all we know.
We haven't been to Ensenada in a while.
It's been a while. It's usually
Mm.
it's always the same. But yeah, Puerto Vallarta is
Yeah,
usually
that's
the
like.
end.
I bet if we went back and counted all the regular stops, that's the lowest frequented.
I want to say I think Ensenada was the one for the Halloween cruise because it was such a quick cruise.
Oh,
If I'm
that's a
not
good point.
mistaken.
Because they were very vocal that this was 3 days. Like usually we can figure out it's quick, but
Oh,
this
they
was
were
like,
beating the drums like 3 day
yeah,
cruise
yeah.
off the bat. Yeah,
Don't get your hopes up.
yeah. Just don't worry. Ship arrives and we see Susie cracking up when Shakespeare arrives on deck wearing shorts he got in the gift shop. I didn't think they were bad looking shorts. I didn't really
No.
see.
You know what
It
occurred to
was
me
weird.
is
It was
though
forced.
that it's not like I know a lot about late 70s fashion in terms of like sizing and stuff, but you don't I guess you didn't see baggy clothes back then. So
Well,
we
thank
don't think
God
it
they were
looked
bad.
bad because
He, yeah, but he's not an athletic man in any way, shape, or form.
no, no, I thought it was a good look for a larger gentleman, but my guess
Mm-hmm.
is they were baggy for the day. So,
Fair enough. Fair enough. Just
or
not as
not.
stylish. Well, everything else was so. Well, thank God he didn't have high thighed, like running shorts type bathing. Comes out in a
It's just
speedo. Oh my
surprising to
God.
me. I think we've established that they have a lot of clothes on this boat,
Yeah,
stores, a lot of
sure.
boutiques. To have such a limited size option for a cruise when you are dealing with the general population is is surprising. He should have had a few choices, I think.
They
So,
should have a warehouse down there with every size, top to bottom. It's a
I mean,
giant ship.
what is more relevant to your larger customers? Pearls or, an extra pair of pants for a bigger
Shorts,
dude?
a
You know,
bathing
right.
suit, perhaps.
Right.
Something
Yeah.
you might have forgotten. Yeah.
That's like I was at a wedding one time and it was in the city and we weren't living in the city that the wedding was at and so I forgot my undershirt and I just thought, "Oh, that'll be easy to find." And it was a weekend, but I think I went to like 4 stores and couldn't
What
find
kind of
just, a
store?
pack of undershirts.
Where did you
So I ended up
go?
having to buy like a $20 undershirt at some fancy ass store. So
Did you go to undershirt? Is that where you made your mistake? Is that you
I
can't go there
did.
first?
The funny thing is, it's a
Yeah.
pretty great undershirt, and I still
You
have it,
still
and I wear it
have
to all my fancy occasions. So
what makes it a $20? I don't get it.
it's
Like what about
almost
it?
like silky.
Really?
Yeah.
Good collar, no bacon collar or anything like that?
Oh, great collar. It's a great shirt. Like if you're only gonna have one undershirt,
Listen,
that's the one you should buy.
next time I see you, I really want to see this undershirt. I
All
just got
right.
to know for myself. All right.
Well, it's easy for me to
Note.
find in my drawer because it's like the frozen envelope. It's like you can feel it right away. So
You find it's the only one I ever needed. It
I just
replaces
wear it
every
constantly.
undershirt. It's a Swiss Army undershirt. Uh, Joanna and William are balleting. They're doing their practice in an empty Acapulco lounge. Here comes Marcy. Boo button. Boo. Says Joanna's brilliant, but gives her a few tips anyway. Because Joanna says, "Any ideas for William?" And Marcy says, "I have a lot of ideas for William." The first thing is I'm going to chum the water first to get him to come closer to the boat.
This
Uh, uh,
this tip that she gives
Not much of
is
a
they're
tip,
doing,
sir.
I don't know all the ballet terms. I don't know if you'd look them up like shuffleboard terms, but basically William's on this side of the room,
There's
Joanne's on
no
this side of the room,
difference. There's no
and she
difference.
does a lot of spinning. And
Sure.
initially they were just spinning into each other, and
Right.
then
And
she
she
spins
landed.
into a dip, which
Yeah.
seems like the most no shit dumb move of all time. Like,
But it wasn't like when Marcy did it, it looked
no,
terribly different than when Joanna
no,
did it the first or the second time.
no.
Like this. Like,
Yeah, give me a
why don't you just
give me
walk
a
up and kiss him?
double McDougal twist.
Go up and kiss the shark on the lips again. Go ahead, Marcy. Mark your territory.
What if she had done the spin and then like stabbed her? Like,
And that'd be it
welcome
for
to the
the.
German ballet.
It's a very different. William asks Joanna to take a break. Marcy invites William to move to Germany and teach for her company. She thinks William's getting too old to be a performer. The Australian shark doesn't like this, and he leaves. Let me just.
I'm in the best shape in my life.
Oh, I'm in the prime of my life.
I ain't had a heart attack.
He's just this guy. We see a shirtless Doc, and this time it's not. It's not bottom pajamas, top pajamas situation. He's being examined.
Bernie Capel pops that top,
Oh, I've
and
never seen a man. He's top 5 proud of that chest hair.
oh
Like
my
he's
god,
born the
chest hair,
perfect
the
time.
the the equal tan. Like there's no
We
lines there.
and it's funny. It's almost like if you were balding or bald like that, balding. It was almost a look. Like Doc has a look. He's losing his hair clearly,
Yeah,
but it's just interesting to me. It's just a look. Just grow it and side part it and fluff up your chest hair, and who cares? You know.
and I
Look at
also
this.
think
Look at this
it's
eagle.
like Bernie Capel was like, I will absolutely be on this Love Boat show, and I'm gonna use that deck that is blinding sun
Oh
and
yeah.
get my tan in. And listen, good for him. He's 100 years old and he's still around.
He
So
he looks great. He looks great. Uh, Turns out Doc has the 24-hour flu. Uh, the 24-hour flu, more commonly known as the norovirus, although I will say his symptoms don't mimic the symptoms of the norovirus that's known as the 24-hour flu. Norovirus is vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, cramps. Apparently, Doc has fainting and sweating. I don't know what that's.
that would have
I don't even
been
know what those are like.
that would have been a much different episode.
Much different episode. Like that's one of my nightmares about cruise ships is people getting sick and it just going
Plus, I
crazy. But
mean,
if
can you
everyone,
think of a worse?
mm,
I guess it worked out because he got sick so early that he
yeah,
didn't probably see any patients. But like, can you think of a worse? Except for like the kitchen staff, the doctor getting neurovirus is probably the worst person to have it.
yeah. So it's interesting. So clearly he doesn't have the norovirus, but if he did, dot dot dot, it's a very different show. That's Love Boat After Dark. That's a PG-13 version.
Oh god, that's like an Animal House version of
It's
Love
bad.
Boat.
Doc resists. She wants him. Oh, she says it's highly contagious. I'm wondering how'd she determine this by like, oh, there's no lab on board. You don't know anyway.
How did he figure
Uh,
out those people were pregnant? Like, yeah, there's a lot
Visual
of
with his eyes. He's like, ma'am, you either got an impressive beer belly or you're with child.
no, not her, the old lady.
Uh, he puts his hand on people's stomach and until he feels a kick or he doesn't feel a kick. If he
He's
doesn't feel a
got
kick, he's like
he's got a
gastroenteritis.
dog. He's got a dog in the bag. It's like just for earthquakes and pregnancy. So
If he sits, let me go see if the beagle's sitting. Congratulations.
good grief.
Doc resists, but he almost collapses when he stands again. Again, more dramatic music. Doc
Acting.
says, "A little nap won't hurt."
I got to say, it's
Yeah.
very early. It's only 3 episodes in, but no one is winning the best crew member yet.
No,
So
no, it's a bunch of declawed cats trying to get this trophy. Uh, Shakespeare and Susie, they're sharing the same drink, which I thought was weird. Uh, like, does one ticket not equal drink? We'll get to it. They're trying to pick out dates for each other as they walk by different people, and they're sort of making fun of each potential date. They look like they're having a fantastic time.
yeah.
Shakespeare asks Susie what she's looking for in a guy. Here we go, Mike. I wrote it down. Four things and only four things.
4 things. That's a lot.
Free spirit,
Okay.
not bogged down by convention. Isn't that sort of free spirit?
Sorta. That's like a definition of free spirit.
Yeah, like 1A and one.
Well, it's like I'm a free spirit, but I'm very bogged down by convention.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't fit.
It's the banker hippie. Oh no, not the banker hippie.
Can we regulate this free spiritness?
Just I'm only free spirited from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. Woo! And then I buckle it down. Free spirit, not bogged down by convention. Witty and sensitive. Witty,
Okay.
sensitive, free spirit, not bogged down by convention.
So if they had said 3 things, that's a pretty good list.
She could have said not bogged down by convention. I guess.
Well, you could be a free spirit and
And be
terribly
not
unfunny.
Imagine just the
Yeah.
most serious person in the world.
Well, you're
I
just
love
not
nature.
good at being funny. Like, that's a thing. I wouldn't know, but
No,
some
I
people
wouldn't
must
know
not be
that. Some
funny.
people, that's got to
Yeah.
be terrible. Susie asks Shakespeare what he's looking for, and he says he's not looking. Liar. When we go to our first commercial break. Whew, they piled a lot before that
That was
first
a lot.
commercial break, by the way.
That was a lot, but I will say after last week where I definitely complained a lot about how long it took them to get names out there. And
Yeah.
this was here's what
It
we
moved.
got. It's very straightforward. It's not necessarily good, but like there
There's
were
no
no
smoke and mirror.
gaps.
Yeah, there's no smoke and mirrors about
No,
it. It is
this
what it
was-
is. It's 44 minutes of entertainment, like it or
Right.
not.
And you don't have to think very hard about this week.
No,
So.
not at all. We hear an announcement that Joanna and William will be performing a As de deux from Swan Lake.
Sure. What's that?
That is a dance duet performed by a male and female dancer. Pas de deux.
Pass the do?
Pas de deux.
Not past the Dutchie?
Not past the Ducci, none of that.
Okay.
I made a note. I hope they perform early because William is old.
Yeah, this is a 5 p.m. show.
He's exhausted. Well, the dance thing went at 5:43 when the dance finally. Well, that's why he has heart problems. They dance for too long. Make it quick. Make it snappy. What are you doing? 2 hours?
You can't half-ass a pass the do.
This is the worst pas de deux I've ever seen.
Suck le bleu. This pass
Oh,
the do.
It's awful. It's a frog legs are in the air. Boo, le boo. William tells Joanna that Marcy offered him a teaching job in Germany. And Joanna thinks William, you're at the peak of your career, shark eyes. And she says, we'll show him tonight. We'll get him. We'll show him. We're going to ballet so hard in the Acapulco Lounge.
We'll show them all.
We'll show them all. We'll show them. We give them the best de deux. Doc's in bed. Here comes Dr. Bradford, approaching him with a shot. I have some medical background. Mike, I have no idea what this could be. There is so much liquid. There's a water park inside of that syringe. There's nothing it could possibly be that you would give to somebody. What? Penicillin? Is it supposed to be penicillin?
Is it possible that she took it from his office? He's got his stuff there, and it's really just his jar of like moonshine or
just
something.
To keep, something. I'll give you 1
Whoops.
cc.
Where did you take this from?
Yeah, I hope you got that in the non-marked bottle. Yeah, I don't know what. That was wild.
I had to hide all my booze after Mrs. Archer came into my office.
No kidding. Well, no one can find any of the medications because she shook them off the shelves. So nobody knows what. Everything's mislabeled. God only knows what she's given him.
Speaking of that,
yeah.
I assume that nurse that was there quit after that episode or was fired. and we don't have a nurse now, because I assume the nurse would be the
Yeah.
one in a normal situation who would do this. And if there happens to be a doctor on board, great. But
Well, you handle
an,
it. It's the
who takes care of Doc if there's no doctor on
what.
the boat?
Well, it's just like that. There has to be like a triaging thing. The nurse
Something.
handles all like the not necessarily less serious, but anything, a nurse, he or she can deal with all sorts of things. So it's not you generally don't want to bother the doctor unless you have to bother the doctor coming from that environment.
Well, it's not
And the
really bothering him
nurses,
if he's hitting on you.
well, that's I'm saying it, but the nurse does so much work that it frees him up
I agree.
to hit on you.
I agree. It's interesting because I'd love to see, like, is there a real calamity on the other side of the boat that we just never saw? So,
They keep it hidden, like in Disney World. If you get hurt, they drag you off site. Not on this ship.
there's just you know what? They're all, when everybody gets off the boat, there's just a pile of bodies stuffed in Mickey
Hey,
Shakespeare's cab. Like, it's
if
just,
there's a serious injury, instead of shooting the racehorse, they throw it off the back like a bottle of ketchup. Just
yep,
goodbye.
right over the tailpipe.
And then William jumps in and tries to eat you with his shark mouth. Crikey. Doc on the shot. So much fluid. Uh, Turns out Doc is scared of needles. Tee. She offers to give him a big old red lollipop if he takes a shot. Gopher and Isaac show up just when apparently his bare hiney was showing.
Oh my!
Made them giggle. She touches him with a cotton ball. He yells in pain, and she tells him that she was just practicing. Cut to Steubing announcing William and Joanna. Fanboy, stupid ballet fanboy, lover
Is
of
there like a
donuts and
line?
ballet.
Is there like a line of demarcation in terms of cultural relevance where Steubing will announce this instead of Julie? I feel like
Oh, because he's
he gets the higher end
mm-hmm.
acts, not necessarily
Every time.
quality, but like reputation.
Every time. Vincent Price.
Vincent
No one else
Price,
introduced him.
he strong armed the wartime singer, but he introduced Charo
He did Charo the second time or the second time, right?
the
Didn't
second
Julie do
time,
the
not the
first time?
first. I
Yeah.
think
Well, yeah,
he
because he
introduced
wouldn't do
Roxy
the that's
Blue.
that's it right there. You totally made the point with the April one.
Yeah.
Now the first time she came on, he didn't say peep.
Yeah.
He didn't even know, and he was pissed. But since she's an established person, then it's like, oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's the Stubby and his wife and the whole table thing all over.
Yeah, it is. And there is this, and I wonder if now that he's like, if he's been to New York twice in the last 2 years, and he's the
Allegedly.
captain of the year, he's probably dining out on that captain of the year stuff too. So he's probably trying to like get in with the executives.
Oh, like I'm of a higher. Maybe there'll be an even more elegant cruise that I could captain.
Yeah, like
Something
I
like that.
will withdraw all this criticism if he introduces the next ventriloquist act, but that's usually not what happens.
No, no. They'll have like Gopher introduce that act, just because
Yeah.
We see Susie standing outside, and here comes Shakespeare. He needed clothes, and he's dressed in a full dress white uniform.
So
Costume.
he gets these from Julie. Julie ran into him on the deck and said she could take care of helping out with clothes for tonight. So I assume that meant they have tuxes, or like
That's what I would think.
or like literally, it's you go to like a steakhouse and they give you a jacket and a tie, right? Like the fact that they gave him a uniform, first of all, probably not legal. That seems like a shady thing.
It does seem like a shady thing.
Like, this isn't a military vessel, as I say a million times, but it is something where if you give this to this guy and he pretends to be an employee of the boat, that could lead to some stuff.
Hey, Mike, I've seen this play out in a far more sinister way. I don't know if you remember ex-Navy SEAL Casey Ryback. There were some all bad guys that had fake uniforms just like this. Just saying, let's keep our eyes peeled. So
all these things are just bad action movie plots now.
Just throwing stuff.
Mickey Shakespeare Gold Bomb is.
he asked Susie, Shakespeare asked Susie to have dinner with him. Susie says, let's have a drink out here first. They have one drink, meaning let me have the majority of this drink and you can have a couple sips of this.
So we've never really gotten consistency in terms of all inclusive or not.
No.
And my guess is this a-hole that ditched her didn't pay for the good tickets. So that's my assumption is that.
We've never seen a cash transaction at the bar level, have we? Other than like, I'm trying to remember if we've
Tips.
even.
Well,
I've seen tips.
Leslie
Never like,
Nielsen,
here's your
maybe.
bill.
Didn't Leslie Nielsen give him like a $5 or something for a couple drinks? That might have been a tip.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
not
I'd have to
consistent.
really. No, it's not. It's not.
And then
I
we
would
we
hope
have
that.
seen the sign to the room, which if we treat this like a hotel makes the most sense. I know when I've done all inclusives, it's a sign back to the room.
Yeah.
So that would be
I
my
don't know.
assumption.
It's interesting, and the room was clearly for two people,
Right.
so it's like maybe that's the $37 room. If you pay for the $38 room, you get
Maybe that's the
liquor
boom boom
package.
room.
It's the boom boom room. The boom boom room with the cardboard beds, just wonderful.
Yes. Well,
Everything's
this
at a
is
90-degree angle.
I'm pretty sure this is the Frank Costanza bedroom
Yes.
from last season. Yeah. So
there used to be a door. You know what? They repurposed that wall and put that door there.
Yeah.
In case you're the Scarecrow or Ben Stiller.
Oh, Captain Stupid.
Oh. William and Joanna are still balleting, and I see Steubing's drinking something.
Uh-oh.
It's clear it's over ice. It appears to be water, Mike. It appears to be water. And we're back to more balleting. This does go on for, in my opinion, entirely too long. No offense to any
segments.
ballet fans.
2 segments is a lot of balleting.
It's too much. Well, just wait. There's more. Steubing tells Marcy that Joanna takes his breath away.
I don't know much about ballet.
Oh, and Marcy says, and Williams too, I'm afraid. Boo button. Boo hiss, hiss, boo.
Steubing doesn't even pick up on that part.
Well, it's like Marcy's like, Joanna's literally sucking the life out of that shark. I got to get him to teach before she drains his life force. Like, what do you do? What is going on?
My bed in Germany is cold and lonely.
What? It's just, Steubing takes Joanna away to tell her how breathtaking she is. Also, Marcy's the only one yelling bravo. Is it appropriate for people in a standing ovation? Like, if one person says bravo, is that really a bravo? Or is it like diving where you throw out the highest and lowest scores and you kind of go from there?
But again, it's like, and I'm not trying to say the cruise is full of rubes every week, but I just don't know that ballet is accessible to everyone. And so I don't know what the rules would be that this crackpot is saying bravo. Do I have to do it? Is it call and response? Like,
if I'm on this cruise and they announce that the ballet is going to go on, I'm not making my way to the Acapulco Lounge. Period.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
That's it.
No
That's
captain's
it,
table. I mean,
you're only there for 3 days. You got to do all the entertainment.
I guess I can.
It didn't seem like a big crowd.
No, I can stare at the moon like everyone else does. Great. So glad I went on this cruise.
I got a moon at home.
It's the same stupid moon. We all see.
I wish there was
water. Oh,
I wish there was some sort of expert that could help me with this.
If only there was a shark to tell me more about the ocean. Crikey, here I come, mate. Oh boy. William grabs the wall as if he's dizzy.
Another faint.
Another fainting. It's
This one's actually worse because he says he's going back to the cabin.
Well, he exerted himself a bit. I mean, I can see this more than Doc just.
Fair, but I'm saying he says he's going back to the cabin. Somehow Steubing asks Joanne to dance with him, which
he's such a busybody, dude.
And then he goes and I was worried when he grabbed for that wall because I bet you those sets are not too sturdy. So
they were like, easy, don't lean on it, shock man. And the thing is, Marcy sees it, but she does not. But she'll budge to stand up to bravo somebody by herself, but she will not make a move or let anyone know that this guy looks like he could pass out.
Well, Mike, you don't throw your reel in the water if the fish is going to jump in the boat.
Just throw some salt water on him. He'll be fine. Just got to keep the water moving.
Excuse me, Gopher, could you drag that body back to my room, please?
We see Doc, back to Doc. He's sweating and shivering, and he doesn't want Dr. Bradford to leave. He asks her to call her Adam. She tells him to call her Emily. He tells her that he's an awful patient,
Yep.
and Emily says she's not leaving, which,
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
come on. I get it.
this
Men are
this
men are
was a
babies.
very
Men are babies when we're sick. Is this
yeah.
the is it
Well, men are
who
babies when
dir-
they're sick, but also doctors um are
fall in love with the
heroes
doc?
for the ill, which sure, I guess. But
Okay,
yeah, I don't know. Plus,
really?
it's like I was just waiting for them to put like a cold bag on his head at this point. He was like
It's just
cartoon sick.
it's super
So,
cartoons, and it's easily like actable symptoms. There's nothing, and he's the
well, to
worst
your point, he's
cougher.
not he's vomiting and
No, he's not any of those things. It's not
yeah.
even. Uh, Marcy's now in William's cabin. She's heard rumors that William's health isn't so great, specifically his heart. Rumors? Where do you hear medical rumors when you haven't seen somebody? Like, what do you're in Germany.
Well, the thing is
Rumors.
though, she
Stalker.
also found out that he was on this boat. So my guess is she either bought Gary Collins's internet or she's
And
got
his
super,
answering and his answering machine too. Right.
or she's working with Courtney Stubing.
Or she's working with Joanna. Joanna just trying to get rid of this guy. She's
Maybe
like, look,
they're
I
gonna
got an
kill him.
outside of the box idea.
We're gonna kill him. Oh, maybe it's like that magician TV
Yeah.
movie. They're gonna try and scare him to death.
It's a new sitcom. What do one magician and a human shark have in common? They're both trapped in a closet on a cruise ship.
with with Ken Breyer.
With Ken Breyer of all people. Oh. Uh she wants him to teach for her and give Joanna the freedom to become the star she's meant to be. Oof. She starts caressing his cheek. Just so weird, man. I don't like people touching me, man, but I sure as hell wouldn't want someone rubbing my cheek when I'm trying to have a conversation with them. What's
he
wrong with this woman?
he puts up zero red lights on
He's
any of
just
this stuff.
because he's boxer rocks, Mike. There's nothing there.
Oh, I think he's
Just.
stupid like a fox with this. I think he's okay
Oh,
with
you
I
mean
because
stupid
here's
like
the
a
thing.
shock?
Don't forget, like Joanna is his protege, which I think also
Yeah, we
insinuates
know what that
naive.
means. Yeah,
And so,
that's a good point. That's a
I
good
think
point.
he thinks he can have his Swan Lake and eat it too. So,
Don't be fooled by his lifeless eyes. There's a brain behind
oh
those
yeah.
black discs. Uh, well, Joanna walks in the cabin and she sees the weird face rubbing and she's out.
Yeah,
William tries to.
you gotta put that D&D sign on there,
How
dude.
about lock
Like,
the door, man? Lock the door,
just
Marcy.
put something, like
Yeah,
a
but she
bell.
wanted she wanted Joanna to come walking in. I think that's
Oh,
part of it too.
100%.
Yeah, it's
100%.
if the kiss on the lips didn't make her mad enough, this she's like, oh, I got her now.
Well, there's one that comes up later,
Well,
which
yeah,
is
there's that
even
one that comes up.
funnier.
It's weird. Uh, William finds her on deck and tries to explain he's accepting Marcy's offer. It's almost like breaking up with someone and going, "You're too good for me." You know what I mean? There's
It's
so
not
much.
you, it's me.
It's just
Yeah.
uh tells Joanna she's ready for bigger things. Joanna says that he's still in love with Marcy and says, "You can jump overboard for all I care. I'm never balleting with you."
It's
Shakespeare and
weird because
go ahead.
I think I needed like a couple sentences on are they breaking up as a couple because they're breaking up as a
It's
partnership?
blurred lines, man. You never know it.
It's like I don't
Well,
understand
because
why one
our point
I
of
get the
reference
impression if she's as good a ballet dancer as they make her out to be, she'll be around. She'll be available to dance in Germany. Like,
well, it's almost like the example storyline that we have to go from is disco. Disco Johnny with where they were together. Like it was sort of it must be complicated. I never fell in love with one of my ballet partners, right? I don't know if other people have, but I've
well,
never done
I
it.
won't ask because I know the second law
That's right.
of ballet, so
Yeah.
I'll
I
never
I
know.
skipped the first one and that was minding my toes. So Shakespeare and Susan, he says he always tells a woman I love you too soon and scares her away. And Susie is the opposite. Says she believes it when a man tells her that he loves her, and she ends up with a broken heart. They say how glad they are to be on the cruise together. This is nice. No smooch. Susie cries, telling Shakespeare how much it hurts because the guy who was supposed to be on the cruise ship said he loved her. Shakespeare says, I know exactly how you feel. Miscast or not, it's a sweet storyline.
Yeah,
No one's getting hurt. It's
it's very,
happy. It's great.
it's almost very sweet, endearing, like, and again, it's low calories. Like this whole, it's basically the endearing version of the Doc storyline. It's just a little better, but it's like
Absolutely.
it's nothing complicated. So
Like no smooch attempts
no.
at this point. There's no like awkward misreading at this point. So it's a nice storyline.
And you know what's interesting too? We talked
Mm,
about this with the wife from the Ropers who was
yes.
aggressive, remember?
Yeah, very aggressive.
And she announced that she was aggressive. And that covers a lot. And I
Well,
think Free
yes,
Spirit does a
yeah.
lot of the same heavy lifting where you can kind of not have to worry about
Well,
some
you
of
cleared a
that.
path. Like
Right.
you don't have to worry about all the rules anymore.
Exactly.
Perfect. Second commercial break. Woo.
Ooh.
All right. Next morning, we see Susie in a bathrobe.
Uh-oh.
We see Shakespeare in a bathrobe. What?
Uh-oh.
And she said, "You're a
Das protest
terrific."
too much.
Yeah,
So,
you're a terrific pause writer.
wah,
No, it
wah.
wasn't that.
Oh, I think it
Thanks
was.
him for
I think
last
they hooked
night.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You do?
Yes.
No, 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 no. Oh, are you saying that because he said I love you
Yeah.
after the
Thank you for last night. They both show up in robes. He goes to love too fast.
Oh, I didn't
She's a
even
free
think about it.
spirit.
So you're saying the bathrobe in and of itself is the symbol
I
of
think the
something happening.
bathrobe is a version of Jamie's thing about the getting
Oh, putting
dressed.
the clothes back on.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because they didn't explain away the bathrobe, which we have seen in other episodes.
Yeah, I didn't even that
Yeah.
didn't even dawn on me till you
Yeah.
said that.
So,
Uh, Shakespeare tells Susie he loves her. She kind of freaks out, doesn't know how to react, and leaves the room.
well, she told him not to say that. Like,
Yeah. Well, did she say not to say that, or did she say like this guy said it, and I always believe it when people say it,
and she
or is
said, "I
that?
hope I never hear it again."
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. I
This
guess he
was a
could. He
little
couldn't.
bit of hand holding that she offered that he didn't
Well,
follow.
he couldn't help himself.
He's girl dumb.
He's
He's girl
girl
dumb.
dumb.
He is
Completely
girl dumb.
girl dumb.
So
Doc
if
wakes up.
you or someone you know is girl
Yes.
dumb, so
Oof. Don't call me. Do not call me. We see Doc waking up the next morning. Dr. Bradford's still there, and she is not wearing half of Doc's pajamas, which is telling us that
boo.
Doc really was sick. Boo. Doc's fever's gone. She orders breakfast for him, tells him that she'll check on him. She's going to check on the rest of his patients. He begs her to come back and take him onto the deck later for some sun, like he's some sort of,
Yeah.
like he's in a
This
nursing
I
home
didn't
or
like.
something.
I
Like
didn't like
what?
any of
He
this.
got so meek. Just like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Well,
Where's the
and
ego?
like it ends up not being a move, but it almost felt like a move.
It
But
felt
then
like a
it was
move.
lame for Doc to be a move. So yeah.
Well, I felt like it was a move because the Jack LaLanne yellow shirt deal he was doing later. Ugh. Steubing's giving Joanna a tour of the bridge that she didn't ask for.
Not at all.
She is not impressed with Steubing because all he can say is, "This is the steering thingy." He didn't really say that. What's he doing? What's
Digit
he going to show
computer.
her? There's nothing. Beep boop beep boop.
This is
Joanne.
the so I think we can
Yeah,
confirm now that this is the new set for the season. This is the bridge.
it's a weird angle.
Well, we get both. We get two angles now. So last week when Julie and Tina were arguing, and I
That's
think
right.
Adam Rich showed up, that looked like his office with some stuff in it. This week they start in that part, and then they walk forward into what is the deck looking out.
I just want it
We've
to look
seen
like the.
we've seen the bridge looking in when Connie Stevens was there. So I think we can build our diorama now of the bridge. So
Yeah, no, because I kind of in my mind I always wanted to look like the Enterprise deck. Big chair, a couple guys by the windows, like that sort of
yeah, I
thing, like
mean, I think the
busier.
problem was if they just didn't make the back look exactly like his office, but it kind of
That's a
does
good
look like
point.
his office in the back, and then it has the
It's
crow's
there's
nest in
some
the front. But
there's some holes in this set approach, but
we're
hopefully
getting
they'll
there. We're
tighten
getting
it
there,
up a
though.
bit.
Yeah.
Joanna tells Steubing William's leaving. Steubing says, "You're a star," and this is when it gets weird. Weirder. He tells her that she has an enormous gift, and this is a sign that it's time to be on your own. And then he says, "Your gift is a tremendous responsibility." Pause. And it belongs to everyone. What the fuck, man? This is what I'm talking about, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's just.
He he
Ah.
he has he has said twice at least that he is a novice when it comes to ballet dancing and the world around it. He's already now decided that she's only the greatest dancer of all time and that she has no autonomy in her
Well,
career. So,
theoretically, she could be one of the worst dancers in the world.
right.
Same, same.
She's one of the two best or
Yeah,
worst
on the
dancers
ship
Meryl
right
Streeping has
now
ever seen.
that have performed in the Acapulco Lounge in the last 24 hours.
Right.
Stuff. Shakespeare sitting outside the bar talking to Isaac. This was kind of a funny, no drink in his hand. He's telling Isaac how he blew it by saying, "I love you." Susie walks up, and I think Shakespeare tells Isaac, like, for a bartender, you give terrible advice
Yeah, he never
because he
lets him
just
get away.
steamrolled him. It was great.
This goes back to what we were talking about earlier. This should be a bit every week in terms of Isaac gets 2 minutes with somebody.
Absolutely.
And that was clearly like just Buddy Hackett riffing a little bit. So
I was kind of hoping for like an Isaac Gopher sort of comedic interlude, given that there was so much room in this episode. I like it
well,
when
I
they
think
have
that's also
something.
the problem when they have the three directors is there's not that like runner that goes through.
Just think you could use it as a segue
I mean,
somehow, you know,
these
even
guys
from
didn't have
deck to deck, or
those guys didn't have anything to do in this episode.
no, nothing.
So
Shakespeare interrupts Susie. Oh, sorry. Susie walks up and says she was thinking about what happened earlier. In case you forgot, they're in bathrobes. He said he loved her. She bugged out. She left. Shakespeare interrupts her and says that he was just, quote unquote, popping off, Mike. He was just popping off.
oh,
Oh. And that nobody could fall in love after one day. He says they can just be friends.
not
And
on
now
this
it looks
boat.
like Susie yeah, it's not the friend boat. Come on, get with the program, Susie. Doc is on deck now, lounging under a blanket. He's smitten with Emily, it's clear at this point. Steubing arrives to take her on a tour of the ship. Here we go again. This guy is such a blocker so many times.
It's
Like,
two
what are you
tours
doing?
on top of each other.
You just finished one a minute ago. What are you doing? Like the ballet that she's going to do hasn't even been announced yet, and he's already on the second tour.
And plus, what's the tour?
This is the
What are you
bridge that I
showing?
don't work. Here's the pool. What
And you know what else too? You know who gets these tours? Attractive women or children.
yeah,
There's
never
no
never
middle.
just a regular
What
dude.
if I want a tour?
Yeah, no, you don't. There's nothing to see. It's nothing that's really lame, actually. You want to see the big book of shipwrecks? It's one of those. Get you in the old. We hear the announcement now, the official announcement of Joanna's solo dance from Swan Lake. Great.
Was that undet
Undid. Undid.
Also, is Swan Lake the only ballet that people would know that you have to use it twice?
The only other one would be the Nutcracker. The only other one, but it's off season apparently. I guess you can't do March of the Sugar Plum Fairies in May. I guess that's just bad. That's just bad balleting, I guess.
Disappointed. They only got the rights to one
Just
ballet.
to one. Yeah, you can only say it twice. Shakespeare and Susie are on deck. He tells her how much fun he's had, tells her that they're pals, no pressure. Susie says she's glad he came with her. She tells him to kiss her. He gives her a peck, and then they start smooching like there's no tomorrow.
They get over it real quick.
Real quick.
You know what? That is a man who is not bogged down by convention.
No, there's no convention in those lips. We go to our third commercial break. All right. We're rounding
That's
third
crazy.
here, Mike.
It's just crazy that I know we have another act left, and I'm like, why?
You could have right. I feel the same way. More Doc shenanigans. We're back. We see Doc wearing his banana yellow workout shirt.
I will
And for
say, I know you're going to criticize the shirt itself, but I will say now that we're getting to see Bernie Capel in not Doc clothing, he wears a shirt well. That shirt looks good on him. It's not a good looking shirt, but
I will say this, and there's been a debate about this in my house about where a men's waist is, and I think this is one of those ones where it fits in. I think he looks good in a shirt for a couple of reasons. He's in decent shape, but I guarantee you his pants are above his belly button in this.
Oh yeah.
Like they pulled him way up. It doesn't help Stubing.
You know what it
But
is?
I think Doc it helps.
I was impressed by the collar, and maybe that's just like 70s collars are a little bigger. But it was like it was a good looking shirt, like in terms of the structure.
I have the same shirt. I just bought that shirt. I saw the episode and went out and got it.
Can we get it in the merch store?
Yeah, I went to dipped in the old merch.
Oh, good. There you go. We get a discount. Use the promo code.
Don't touch your own product. Yeah, use
the promo code Norovirus.
My only not issue, but it's funny to me that like this shirt screams, "Let me work out in it."
Yeah.
There's no.
Well, we've seen some weird workout clothes.
Of course. Well, this is the second time he's worn weird workout stuff. Remember when he was with that older couple running on deck, and he was explaining Johns Hopkins.
He was just wearing his outfit, his doctor outfit. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if. Oh, maybe
no. The weirdest workout clothes were Ray Bolger was dressed in like 9 jackets.
In his autumn colored sweatsuit. Stupid Ray Bolger.
I'm working out.
Dr. Bradford knocks and he jumps into bed. He starts fake coughing and sneezing. Terrible fake coughing and sneezing. He begs her to play one game of backgammon, and she agrees to one game. But you're gonna miss the balleting, you know.
Yeah, like, and the funny part was, this is kind of where it really got pathetic because she said he could go to the ballet. So
he just didn't want to go.
He didn't want to go, which I understand, and he's trying to make a move, but he's not docking her. Like if he had moved her, he probably would have.
Game. He's
weak.
So he's weak. Joanna's balleting for everyone, super hard.
By herself
in the Acapulco lounge, by herself.
She's even got the little outfit on, the little swan hat.
Like I'm looking around for ducks. That's how much swan. Oh boy, we're in character. Ducks. She gets a standing ovation. Do you really get a standing ovation twice? Like, are people really like going to be like? I don't even know if it's good or bad.
Well, like, especially on a boat. I just don't.
Did it.
I guess I just don't know. Like standing ovations in a very small room are odd.
Yeah, it's awkward, I would imagine. But it's almost like if like say you have a pro juggler, right? And this guy's juggling like 3 flaming torches, gets a standing O, comes back the next night and does it again.
Yeah, it is the same crowd. That's a good point.
It's the same crowd. It's the same thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I never thought about that. It is a different act, but it's the same. It's still ballet.
That's not a cruise-friendly thing to watch over drinks.
I mean, the worst ovation of this all is Stubing, who runs up and is like
running.
He's so close to her, clapping.
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
And he claps so rapidly too. He's just a weird.
Yeah.
And gives
is that a ballet thing? It was uncomfortable how close he was clapping to her.
It's weird. It was weird. He's probably like, she has a crush on me. Weirdo.
Yeah, clearly. I'm going to be her mentor.
But then when he's doing this, he gives William a little taste of Stubing resting bitch face. Just gives him a little.
Well, because while the ovation is happening, what's her name? It's not Molly McGuire.
Marcy
McGuire and William are holding hands at the table.
Yeah.
And we get a zoom in like it's a murder.
And Joanna saw it. Like, if they were doing it on the table, like that's for effect. On a white table, like with.
So she sees it and she splits, and then Stubing just gives him like the stares.
I'm mad.
I still don't think he got it though. I still think he quite understood what was
No, he
happening.
didn't. He just wants to be a part of something.
Yeah.
He doesn't know ballet. He doesn't know
Oh,
flower. He doesn't
I'm
know
part of
anything.
the. I'm part of this love box that we got going on
Just
here.
so desperate. He's such a busybody. That's the thing. It's not like he has. You have nothing else to do.
Do you
You're
think he's
so
sitting?
intertwined with this.
He's
Mm.
staring at those two at the table, thinking, "Ah, I wonder if they would like a tour."
Just ladies only. Just anybody.
Sorry,
Hello.
William.
Oh, are you making out with your newlywed husband? Let me take
Yeah.
you on a tour. Like what?
Sorry, Crocodile Dundee. You'll have to sit this one out.
No kidding. More smooching from Susie and Shakespeare. Good lord, he asked her to go steady.
Yep.
He says He says that he will not tell her that he loves her, but they can work up to it, like when they get married.
That's 4.
That's 4. I was gonna say streak continues, my friend.
Ding. So that's the one streak that made it. As we said, we're adding continuity, but that's 4 engagements, marriages. RIP to the streaks for Julie getting destroyed by love and
Let me,
physical violence.
as far as stubbies go, I just quick question. Do you think that it's Mrs. Roper and Lorne Green's race to lose as far as either best old or
Oh yeah,
any
they've been
other?
the
Because
best. Yeah, they've been the best. I will say, um, again, it's very early, but I would say Mickey and Susie, that is exactly what best duo was built for, right?
that's a good point. That's a very good
So
point. Yeah.
we can
Are they going to
absolutely
make it?
clear them, but I wouldn't be shocked if they end up on the list.
No, and I think it goes back to like I was saying, it's such a likable story. It's not.
Right.
There's nothing not to like.
Right. Exactly. There's no bad beat in it the whole way,
No.
which is rare, really,
Rare.
because
It
like
is
even
rare.
last year the Kissing Bandit won best storyline, and there are definitely parts of that, mainly with that quote unquote love interest,
Right.
that were kind of like in the beginning, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
not every
Absolutely.
storyline is perfect.
Mm-mm.
This is not a, much like these last couple episodes we've been talking about. Definitely not a high ceiling, but
No.
not a low floor, and I
No,
think
no.
that's a good thing, you
And the
know.
thing is,
So
we're willing to give that benefit of the doubt. Like, it doesn't have to be like, perfect from beginning to end. Just
right,
give us.
and it moved.
It
It
moved.
moved. The
It
ballet
moved
stuff
very
moved.
well.
If you had taken those 7 minutes and made it more ballet acting and less balleting, that would have been tough.
It's not the ballet project, right?
No,
That's what I'd be saying
no,
right
it's
now.
not. No, it's not. You want to go see Swan Lake Project? You go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. Beat it. Susie asked if he's just looking for an end to his book. He says, "Nope. I'm looking for a start to my life." So don't don't say you love her, but say I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Right.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Semantics.
He didn't say I love you. He didn't say
He's
it.
not bogged down in convention, Mike.
Nah, you can't. Try it. Try to bog me down. You can't. We're back in Doc's cabin again, and they just both look drunk from backgammon.
It's a lot of backgammon.
Doc gets this weird, why you treat me like this? Says he
Yeah.
loves her. I'm looking away from the screen.
I didn't like
no,
this.
Dude.
This was a gopher storyline.
Yeah, but
Like I know it had to be Doc, but
it did. But
yeah.
But the thing is, this should have happened when he was all delirious and sweating, and then I would have been like,
Yes.
okay, that makes a little more sense.
Yep.
Like,
No, I
you
agree.
can go, sorry, I was out of it. But he's not.
And that's the
out of
thing.
it
Like
here.
they land the plane, they explain it, so but the getting there was.
I thought it was a lame. I
It
just
was
thought
lame.
that the timing of him doing this was
It
dumb.
needed something else.
He needed to be sicker, I think.
Or you're right, he needed to be like delirious and doing
Yes.
that. I wouldn't have hated a dream sequence, honestly.
Him calling Isaac Gopher and Gopher Isaac, like just to establish he's just.
Or you can't give me one and it's like her on a pedestal, like an angel wings or something like that.
It goes back to what the hell was in that syringe?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Don't worry about it.
Just like hand gel.
That's it. Yeah, it's sanitizer. We just need that. She's not even a doctor. She's a butcher.
That's the other thing too. There's no
license check.
There's no license presented.
She didn't have. She didn't have a stethoscope.
Like, Like, we don't know that she really was a doctor.
I would feel better if she walked on the ship with a stethoscope on, because in my mind, then like every doctor should walk around with a stethoscope. It's like, oh, you're
Well, it's like the
clearly a
priests,
doctor,
right?
or you like to listen to things. One or the other. I don't know. You're a priest, exactly.
Oh,
But
I'm a safe cracker.
right,
So,
right. You got like this earpiece. I look at jewels, and you got the thing. Make it. I want everyone to be identifiable like a Fisher Price toy. Like we
it'd
know
be
that's a
great.
construction man right there.
It'd be great if next week they don't even mention it. Just she's in the credits as your ship's doctor because she killed Doc and took his
Yeah,
job.
sodium pentothal. That's what
It's like
was
the
in there.
talented Mr. Ripley. Like,
Oh, Emily asked Doc, "How many of your patients fall for you?" Uh-oh. She explained that this is the
all
same
of them,
thing.
baby.
All of them. Oh no. Bubble burst. Emily explained that this is the same thing. He says, "You're not in love with me." Gopher, Isaac, and Julie show up and take Emily to get a drink. And Doc takes out his one of his writing
Yeah,
kits,
from
I
the
guess,
desk of Adam Bricker.
and tells
Media.
Gopher that he has some apologies to write. Mike, what's the over under on the apology letters? Can
Well,
I get a
so it depends.
Jeez, I
So
don't even know
is
what
he
he's apologizing for,
right?
but yeah,
Is he apologizing for this specific issue or just general
I
stuff?
don't know. It it could be two very different numbers or the same number. I don't even
Oh,
know.
I think it's two very different numbers. I think like these crushes are like old ladies that he's got to write back to. So
Dear Mildred.
yeah,
That just made me laugh. Joanna finds William in one of the lounges.
you know where
She
this
said,
is?
"What's that?"
I'm pretty sure this is the place where the villain got slapped.
I think you're right. I
I
think
was
you're right.
actually hoping we were going to get a slap.
I thought we were gonna get a slap. I really
I don't.
did.
I think when that episode aired, I thought it was the Pirates Lounge Cove. It still might be, but I'm also thinking of it as Slap Lounge. So
It's funny. Uh, he tries. She says goodbye. He tries to say something, but we all know sharks can't talk, Mike. Right, right.
I don't have the words.
Yeah, and she tells him not with words, and she
That's where I thought she
begins.
was gonna get slapped.
Yeah, she begins making out with that shark in a
Oh,
very weird aggressive. It was wild. Like what? What's rule two of the? What's rule two of ballet? I don't know.
and this is like there were 4 or 5. This is why I thought he was a robot because he was
He's a robot.
emoting just by
Yeah, that's what with the shark. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
There's no.
It was a shark, a robot, a shark, and a little bit of a Christopher Guest character. That
Yeah,
if you're not going to go back and watch this episode, that's what he was.
they didn't even give this guy a script. They were just like, just wing it, right? Go ahead, shock
Yeah.
man.
Chip, chip.
He didn't have a lot of lines in this. I mean, let's be honest. He could
Tiny
have just
kangaroo down
improv.
sport.
It's awful. We go to our final commercial break. We're in the home stretch, sir. Let's wrap this thing up.
Ugh.
Susie and Shakespeare leaving, and apparently they're getting married. Streak
But do they have a
continues.
ride home? Is he blacklisted from other cab companies?
Depends how much gas was in that cab. I mean, they may go
Oh,
out there and
that
it's
cab's
still
not
running. I
there.
think it's not.
That cab,
That wasn't it a Studebaker? It was like the one that the Muppet guy drives, basically.
that cab is in the L.A. harbor. I don't know what's out there,
I
but
don't know what it's. Yeah, who God only knows. Uh, sorry. Susie asked him if he ever thought about writing any children's books. He says one, and she says one at a time. And Buddy Epson goes, whoa, 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 and runs the opposite direction.
wait, time out.
But
Buddy,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
hold on. It's Buddy Hackett, not Buddy Ebsen. That's a much different character. Or are you saying that Jed Clampett just runs
Yep.
into the back?
Yep. He was playing him the whole time. If it wasn't for your meddling kids. William and Marcy see Joanna leaving, and William says it's hard to see her go. Is it? Is it really, William?
But I
He's
love
like,
watching her leave.
hey, leave. Good day, right? Also, he's agreed to go to Germany to teach. Um, the whole thing seemed odd to me, and I will touch on this in one of the later segments that we're going to talk about. I have something to say about Marcy. Emily's leaving. Steubing thanks her, gives her a free cruise. Great, thanks. Emily
Fair. I
agrees
think
to.
that's fair.
It's fair.
because we
It's
don't
fair.
really know how much she had to do, but
If you're
yeah.
covering
Because
patients, maybe this is
now, here's my
the
question:
one cruise all hell breaks loose.
to my memory,
Yeah,
is this only the second free cruise that's been handed out? It was Radar
yeah.
and this.
Wait, no, no,
So
no, 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 no.
these are
Didn't
the
they invite
two.
what's his name? Larry Storch's family back on a cruise because they all had to sit with the
No,
chicken and the sauce. They were all in one room. I thought
no, they
he.
paid it with
Oh,
the
that's what it was.
casino
You
winnings.
know what it is? That's right. That's right. I thought there was something. No, there wasn't.
No, they
Yeah,
should have been a free
they
cruise.
should
There
have been.
wasn't.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
that's only the second free cruise.
That's a big comp, though. Free drink, I get that. Free cruise, that's a big comp. But I bet you Stubing's got all sorts of.
Oh, he's fixing. I mean, we assume all these friends get free cruises all the time. So
He gives out backpacks with all this Dunkin' Donut dollars that he's been collecting over the
I would
years.
just be pissed if I was Radar and I got wind of this, that she just had to like check a couple patients and he had to live in filth for
He's
three
like, "Do you
days.
understand? This male dog had babies. How come nobody's talking about this? And you served me brown liquid at the
I tr-
captain's table."
I tried to get what was O'Rourke's magazine? Wasn't
Oh,
Scuttlebutt. What
scuttlebutt.
was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it?
Scuttlebutt.
No, that was Vicki Lawrence.
Oh,
I don't
that
remember
was
what
the Vicki
O'Rourke was
Lawrence.
writing for,
I don't
but
remember either.
anyway, she was going to
It was
write
like
that tell all
scam.
about it. Radar probably gave her the tip.
I wish they would write that tell all. Emily agrees to spend the weekend with Doc. He tells her that if she falls in love with him, he won't say anything to stop her. And that
Freeze
is the
frame.
end of the episode. I wish they would throw popcorn in the air. I love that freeze frame. Don't waste
When
the freeze
Julie threw
frame.
the book, that was the
That was
best freeze frame
awesome.
we've
That was
had.
awesome.
Yeah.
And that wraps up, man. That wraps up The Love Boat, season 3, episode 4.
This will be interesting. So, totals in a recap. Best episode is currently episode 1. The two-parter episode 2 last week was the worst. Is this better or worse than last week? I don't know what I think.
I don't think it's worse, only, and this is just gut. I feel like the Shakespeare Susie storyline puts this one just slightly above last week's. Not much, but a
Yeah,
little bit.
I think you're right. I think that's the best of the 6 storylines involved in the last 2 episodes.
I agree.
It's 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 got a similar vibe though, in terms of
Yeah,
I think we may have mentioned it where we were like, was the first episode so good that we're going to pay for it here a little bit?
we kind of are,
Um,
Mike. We kind of
and we
are.
kind of are. Now, I'm not worried yet because, as we said, they're not good, but they're not aggressively bad or annoying, or I don't hate watch them or anything like that.
No, me neither. Me
Uh,
neither.
I will be a little disappointed if next week is bad. And I don't know if you have the look ahead,
I
but
do.
yeah. So I'm excited for some of the people that are on next week, and 3 in a row. I'm going to start treating this like a heat wave. If there's 3 bad episodes in a row, then we have a bit of a streak. So
We need an
hopefully,
alarm or something. Yeah.
this is just a little hiccup, but I'm okay with it. But yeah,
Okay.
I agree. So
Overall,
we'll say this is slightly better than last week.
it
And
snuck by. It
yeah.
snuck by.
Captain of the week. I think this is probably obvious too.
I went with Mr. and Mrs. Mickey Shakespeare Greenbaum.
Yeah.
There was nothing not to like. It was positive. Was it the great? No, but they were both likable. She was likable. He was likable. They were fine. They were great. They were the best part of this episode, in my opinion.
I agree. The only other person I'll say is it's not her fault. I generally like her too. Susan Sullivan as
Yeah,
Emily was good.
it
It's
wasn't a
amazing.
lot for
She's
her.
kind of always that character.
Mm,
But she was good. I wish that she had gotten to do more of a real Doc storyline than
yeah,
that. But I enjoyed her acting chops.
same here. Same here.
Walk the plank, worst of the week.
Just some. For me, it's Marcy, and I just want to explain that like you said before, unannounced. If she wanted to offer this guy the job, how about a letter? Like, if you don't know his address, how do you know he's on a cruise ship? A phone call? It was just kind of, just boo. I just,
Yeah.
I didn't, I don't know
Was
if I just didn't like her character. I don't know. Maybe somebody else in that character would have been a better fit. I don't know. But again, I don't know. It was just, I didn't like
so
her.
I'm going to agree with that storyline. I'm also going to pay off all the breadcrumbs I laid out earlier in the episodes. Watch this tie-in.
Here we
So
go.
I agree. I'm going to go with the storyline itself. Although it's funny, the actress who played Joanna ended up being way better than I expected when that thing started. Not that she was great, but she was just so much better than the other two.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I agree.
there was definitely like 2 or 3 things missing from that storyline to make it work. Everything happened too fast. Like that guy didn't push back on taking the job almost
At
at
all.
all.
At all. Not, and like not even like, oh, I need some time to think about it.
Right. I definitely needed something to resolve why they had to break up and quit working together. So just a lot of missing pieces. The writer of that storyline, someone named Carmen Finstra. This is the 3rd episode they've written. The previous 2, couple memorable ones for us. They wrote the Patty Duke, Ricky Nelson, Double
Oh,
Amnesia.
I like that. Well, that's one of my favorite episodes.
And
For
then,
storylines, yeah.
and this one, this talk about 2 sides of the same coin in one episode, one storyline. She wrote the reunion, the high school reunion. She wrote the Mike Kelly bit, but that also
Gold.
features that awful couple who felt guilty about dodging the draft.
Maybe she got stuck with that. Maybe
It's a
that was a
he.
part she
Sorry, I
didn't. It's a
apologize to
he.
Carmen Finster's a he, but yes. So talk about 2 sides of the coin. So Carmen
Curious to
Finstra is
see.
back for 2 more episodes, including one storyline in next year's season opener, and then they leave. They go on to be a producer on The Cosby Show, which obviously is a big deal, and
Sure.
then became the creator of Home Improvement.
Wow.
Yeah, which is quite a
Just
turn.
big
So I don't know if
shows. Big
they
shows.
I don't know if they were like involved in the stand-up scene. I don't know if that's somebody who like thought Tim Allen could be a TV star and really was the one behind it.
Who
Um,
knows? But boy, you talk about some monster shows.
and to really finish this baby off,
Yeah.
watch this magic. The night that the South of Sunset show
Uh-huh.
aired and had the lowest ratings ever for a new show in 1993,
Mm-hmm.
it was going up against the Halloween episode of Home Improvement. So it all
Wow.
ties in. It all ties in.
Wow. Look at that.
So that is
Look at that
totals and
web.
recap for this week.
That's fantastic. Time for plugs. Hitting season Patreon, absolutely hammered. Whether you're cheering from the stands or tuning in from home, this is the podcast you need. Grab your bat, your cap, and your Phillies pride. Crack open a beer and enjoy a weekly Phillies happy hour with Chris Jones, Justin Clue, and our very own Mike Robertson. Check out Absolutely Hammered on the Hitting Season Patreon. You can find us everywhere you find your audio podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Podcast Addict, Amazon Music, Podchaser, Player FM, Pocket Casts, Deezer, and my new favorite, Listen Notes. Please hit
Listen notes.
Listen Notes, my new favorite. Please
Do we
hit
have to
that
write
subscribe.
notes for the?
Yeah, it's a whole. We got to do it right after this. We
Oh
have to write it
no.
all out on yellow Post-it notes,
I would
but
like.
from memory.
I would like. Those art pieces where it's a bunch of words and it makes something. I
Yeah,
would like
yeah, yeah.
somebody to take all the references we made in this episode that had nothing to do with this episode and make some art out of it.
Watch, it's just words that make up the image of Casey Ryback. That would be fantastic.
It's just Stubing applauding closely to somebody.
Check out our video podcast on YouTube. Again, please hit that subscribe button and leave a review. You can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. Look for weekly reels and updates. Check the old mailbag, Mike. No mail.
Boo.
You can email us
Go.
at theloveboatproject@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Next episode, Mike. And then I have a very professional sign off that I've been working on for 53 episodes.
But
so.
you've been so good at your ad lib sign offs.
Oh, I'm like a natural. Just a natural. I'm the Dustin Rhodes of sign offs. Next episode, we welcome aboard Larry Dallas and Janet from Three's Company. Why is this important?
I'm so excited.
Let's count. So now we've had Norman Fell, who, don't forget, did not win the inaugural Stubby Award named for him. We had Mrs. Roper on multiple times. Suzanne Summers has been on. John Ritter's been on. Now Janet's on. Larry's on. Don Knott is on in a couple episodes. Was Terry on?
Terry was on.
And
Yep.
Terry was on. Who
So
is
Jenny
the
Lee
whole show?
Harrison, and that there was that one woman, that older sex pot woman who was on for like a season. I don't know if she's
Oh,
going to make it or
yeah.
not. So, but yeah, I'm very excited to see. I don't know that I've ever seen either Joyce DeWitt or Larry
Me
Dallas
neither.
in anything else.
I'm
So
excited.
I'm very excited.
And now for the professional sign off. Uh, and that wraps up episode 54 of this project. Thanks for cruising with us. And don't forget to rate, review, and tell your friends, because the Love Boat Project, much like cruise ship buffets, is better when shared. Until next time.